Sound work? Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, so let me. Mm, all right, so reposted the link there so we can get back this working right. All right, so now we'll give a minute or two to let everybody kind of jump back there is, I think, roughly like a 12-second delay or something from the time that I stop talking, or from the time that I start talking, rather, to the time that you guys actually hear the voice or hear the sound. So there is that little bit of lag. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get back into this. So we'll have to skip that wonderful little Spartan larva cartoon intro or something. I need to figure out how to make a better intro or do a better intro or whatever. Okay, but anyways, back to what we were talking about a minute ago. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of rejections here, trying to push into a new high, trying to close above that 12K mark, which is a bit concerning. Now, I don't see anything as far as any kind of major drop coming yet. Again, we're here on the 2-day chart. Now, if we look at our 7-day moving average here, we are starting to kind of round out just a little bit, seeing those first signs of it. You can see it kind of kick over just a little bit there. And you can see it kind of also roll over on the MACD here as well. And if you need a reference to any kind of past, you can see the MACD rolling here and the MACD rolling here, and then what eventually happened with the price as well, following into it. And there's a roll, MACD rolled there and rolled there. So we still are technically failing to make a new high. We still are struggling right here in this zone. Now, the more I see these candles being grouped up like this, now I don't know if this is trying to break that resistance or if it's eventually going to roll over and we're going to get that $1,000 drop pullback to at least flip the support there at 10.5-ish to create a next leg up. It's still, I'm still kind of, I don't know, on the sidelines of where I really feel about that. I mean, it's Bitcoin. It's a lot harder to chart Bitcoin because it's far more manipulated than altcoins are. So we bulls really need to get up here above and close that 12K. I mean, we're only seeing wicks. There's no candle close. So if they can very well range it like I'm showing here, and if they range it, it looks like we're going well into maybe end of September before we might actually get a significant drop. So I don't see anything concerning yet as far as Bitcoin. I think we're still going to just kind of play in this range between 11.4, we'll call it 11.4 and 12,000, probably what looks like for the next month almost, which is a good sign for altcoins because altcoins are breaking out of massive accumulation patterns, so altcoins could play. So I'm not going to get too worried, too concerned about Bitcoin until either we break above that 12K mark or we start testing down below 11, about 11.5, 11.4, we'll call it that. So I don't see anything too concerning about it. See, so we are on Bitstamp weekly. See, the weekly still looks to be up in an uptrend here. Man, we could be ranging up here for quite some time unless there's some kind of significant move. So even on the weekly, So our weekly 7-day moving average is still in an uptrend. So until this rolls over and starts to roll back down, our trend is still bullish. However, if we can't break that 12K mark, then we're going to do exactly as I said, and we're just going to range right here between about 11.4 and 12K for probably up until the election. I think we had that conversation in the political chat about Bitcoin, about all markets kind of just floating up until the election and see what's going to happen, who wins the presidency. And I think there might be a major sell-off around that time, just out of fear of, let's say, if Trump loses, because obviously he's keeping the stock markets propped up with the Fed printing money. So if he loses, I mean, there's likely going to be a nasty sell-off. So that's just one speculation there, but as it looks, I mean, Bitcoin is fine. There's not really a whole lot to really go dive into as far as what it's going to do, because this is going to be our range right here. So we'll call this about 11.1 and 12K. I don't see anything that we are going to be concerned about. They are really propping this up and keeping it propped up. The election is November 4th, and I think quite a few members feel, or at least share this same sentiment as I do, about keeping all markets propped up until the election, whether if it's traditional stock market, even cryptocurrency market. Who knows what kind of effect it will have, as far as the election goes. Because as we've seen, everybody can just follow, the SPX, and it really, the S&P 500. And it really alludes to, it kind of gives that notion, that pre-market notion of what's going to happen in cryptocurrency. So if the S&P 500 is bullish, Bitcoin is bullish. Anytime the S&P 500 takes a dip, Bitcoin takes a dip a few hours later. So Bitcoin kind of lags the S&P 500, and even the S&P 500 looks like shit. I mean, they're just really just propping this up. I mean, from a technical analysis standpoint, I mean, this is, look at the MACD here, just ranging and ranging and ranging for, let's see, this is about almost, 4 or 5 months here. And it's doing the same here, ranging and ranging and ranging, and then drops, and then drops. So, I mean, they could very well do the same thing with the S&P 500, and then election, something like that. I don't know. Just speculating there. But as far as Bitcoin goes, it does have that tendency to follow the S&P 500. And we're also, of course, still in that pandemic. I would like to see a nice solid wick down to 10.5 though, just to get a little bit of a reset. Maybe get some cheaper altcoin pullbacks. Here's the average S&P. Oh yeah, if you got a chart for that, El Maher, go ahead and share that, please, if you would. If you got a average S&P price during the election year, that'd be good to see. Because they did this. Let's go back. They did this with the last election. So where is? Yeah, right here. Nope, 16 February. So, it was like right around here. This was the last election, right here in this little box right here, leading up to the last election. And they thought that because Trump was getting elected, that it was going to dive. And you can see right before, so here's October. So you can see here in October, just before the election, they had already started to dip. They had already started a sell-off, and then I don't know what happened with Trump. I guess when he won the election, like literally right here, it shot back up. So I'm not sure how they did that, how they manipulated that, but they had thought there was going to be a nasty sell-off if Trump won the election. So election years, I don't see a link there. I don't see your link, buddy. So, anyways, there's obviously some kind of correlation between elections and market cycles, and we're rapidly approaching another election, which is fine. You know, we'll be prepared for it. Oh, and Discord. Bro, I don't see in Discord your link either. I don't see your link in Discord, buddy. Okay, so if there is some kind of correlation with the elections and market prices, I think that they're pretty well going to range this, and we're going to chop all the way up until that election. Then we'll get some sort of reset, simply out of fear of who's going to win, or just because it's an election itself. But even from a technical analysis standpoint, I mean, that's kind of how we're looking anyways. I mean, you can see here's a high and then a higher high, but at the same time, our OBV is making a high and then a lower high. Our MACD here made a slightly higher high. Doesn't look to be too much, but you can see it trying to roll over there. I'm not too worried about Bitcoin probably for the next 3 or 4 weeks or so. I mean, we look to be pretty well ranging unless they spike it. So any spike dips, anything are going to be for buying. In Stonks chat. All right, let's see what you got there. Okay, so let me drag this over here. Okay, so this is what you're sharing with us. Performance ahead of the election could give a clue who wins the election. Yeah, so okay, so there is a correlation obviously between presidential elections and stock market prices, sell-off fears, assuming incumbent party wins, and rally to mid-September, no program. Rally into election, incumbent win. Maybe you can give us a little bit more insight into, you know, what you understand what this chart is reading or something, and then we can come back and look at it. I don't want to take too much time up trying to study this and then explain it, you know, and keep everybody here for 2 hours. So if you can explain that, what your understanding of it is, El Maher, and we can relate it, and we can go back to that chart, that's fine. Okay, so while you're doing that, let's move on to dominance. Okay, so dominance, this is what we're looking at for altcoins. As long as we are still in this downtrend, altcoins can play, altcoins can move. However, we must be concerning here of a bullish divergence forming. Okay, so we got low, low, low. We got a low, higher low, higher low. So we're starting to trend up a little bit on dominance. However, I don't see the moving average there rolling up. So we're kind of just, I think we had this before, and we're kind of snake down and then get a good pop. And at some point when this rolls up and pops, altcoins are going to dip pretty hard. So we got two patterns here. We got this bull pennant and we got a falling wedge. And we are looking at roughly, we're kind of hitting the top of that support right there. So I'm very, very cautious of this as well. So this would be, technically, if we bounce right here, we can see off the top of our candle confluence here, and we're kind of cutting through over here, and we could probably actually drag that line all the way out over onto the top of those. This would be, if we bounced here, a support resistance flip. And if it does that, alts could take a beating. So I'm kind of being cautious going into next week because, I mean, we're low-key due for a pullback. Don't see it quite yet early on. However, I don't think alts are going to outright die either. So let's go to our monthly chart. I mean, look at the monthly. I mean, this is just outright brutal. Look at that. Our MACD just crossed under bear on dominance on a monthly time frame, and we are dropping quite significantly hard. So we can bounce, maybe catch a little bounce. Let's bring that up a little bit, maybe somewhere to there. Get some small altcoin pullbacks before the monthly close. So we got 2 weeks. Kind of wick this up just a little bit. Get some pullback on alts, and then we're going to continue down because we are trending full bear there on the dominance. This is really, really good for altcoins. I expect a lot of altcoin movement coming up. Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay, so you're saying looks like if Trump loses, drop; if he wins, rally continues. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Trump has done, I don't know if he's really pulling the strings behind the Federal Reserve right now, or if Munchin and Powell, they're just, at the president's bidding, doing what they know that he would do, and that's keeping the markets propped. So yeah, so continuing to range in this high zone until election time, yeah, totally fits my thought pattern, and as many others as well, as far as the S&P 500 and Dow Jones, pretty much traditional stocks and cryptocurrencies. So I think because it's such a big election for the United States, yeah, it makes sense to keep the markets propped up until that point, and then just out of simple fear of Trump possibly losing, dump everything, going into the end of October. So that fits our scenario, that fits our bias of range in Bitcoin up here as well. Because I mean, if we're that correlated to the S&P 500, I don't understand why people think that we're just going to continue to keep, pumping up to new highs or something, even with the United States not fully being into the crypto market. Obviously, there's some kind of play going on right there with that tight tethered correlation between the traditional stock markets and crypto markets. So yeah, that fits our bias there. And look, dominance may do the same thing. Dominance may continue to fall up until the mid 50s, going into that election time on that next monthly candle, next 2 monthly candles maybe. And also fit that scenario as well. So we can have 2 more months of some serious altcoin play, and then we're going to see some massive pullbacks, and we'll just short everything down. Okay, so let's roll into some alts. All right, so OGN, Origin Protocol. Solid first play here. What the hell is this, a 22-minute chart? I didn't make a 22-minute chart. All right, so we had, I don't remember when we first had OGN. It was down here somewhere, 2800s or so. So we had a solid first run. I think most of us sold probably around here. Good solid 63% run so far. Really great plays. And then this was our support buyback that was noted last night in the calls channel. Looks like we have hit really well dead on. Looks like we have done our bull pennant pretty well spot on. That was perfect. So misplay. I didn't take any plays since yesterday. I took the rest of the weekend off on a monster tear real quick. So this is my August profits. I was out, let me see. Yeah, this Saturday on the 1st, and then most of this week is when I was out for the funeral, and then came back and hit it pretty hard after that. So we're kind of rolling about 26 grand in profit so far this month. So altcoins have been absolutely banging. So I hope to see a continuation of altcoins for the rest of the month, and maybe double that again and make another 25 grand or so. And all of these plays, guys, look, we're let's see, we got Algo, OGN, ICX, Mana sold way early. I was so salty, sold way early. So all of these are the copy trade calls, guys. So if you took any of these, we'd be in some. Everybody would be making some really solid profits. Okay, so for OGN, very solid bounce. Looks like we are rejecting a little bit. Actually, this might come back down just a little bit more. I'd like to see another retest of 4,000 Satoshi right there. So let me clear this. Weekly time frame, not too much of a chart history. Is there another chart somewhere? Huobi, you got more chart history? Okay, so apparently nobody has more chart history. So this is about the most we're going to find. So we're still obviously solid, good in an uptrend. I think this is really just getting started. There's been some rumors thrown around of a Coinbase listing for OGN, and which would be very, very good news. 12-hour little kick up right there on the MACD. This is why I'm really, really cautious of this. So unless this ranges a little bit more and then flags a little bit more, then OGN is good to go. I'm also watching to see if we get another pullback. Maybe play this channel. I don't think it'll do that. I don't think, unless there's a Bitcoin pump or dump or something to cause altcoins to pull back. I'm not sure if this will get a channel play, and we'll see a pull back, to that 3,500 Satoshi range. I'm not fully sold on that yet either. But the channel play is quite clear there. I'm really half tempted though to maybe just grab a bag. So if I'm going to drop down to the low time frame, let's do 30-minute. Okay, so our 30-minute rolled under a bear here. Look at that curl over on the 7-day moving average for the 30-minute time frame, and we just plop down a support. So roughly, I want to see what happens at 4,100. If it holds that support and makes a higher high there on the low time frame. So here's a low, here's a higher low. This would be another higher low. That would be convincing to go ahead and snag a buy. And then put my stop loss just below that somewhere. Not a whole lot of chart history for OGN to give a clear sign there. But so far the trend looks good. So I'm going to see what happens at 4,100 there for OGN. Okay, let's roll to Icon. All right, Icon is another solid play that we got going on. 12-hour. No, let's go to daily. This may just have to be a buy and forget. That is a really strong pushback candle. So we did wick down into our support zone. Absolutely perfectly called. Missed the buy this morning. I was out mowing, doing things around the house, whatever. But this is a strong pushback candle. So even though I missed that extra 8% from that buy zone, that still looks pretty good to FOMO a buy there, because this looks like it may continue into a strong push. They've got some really strong fundamentals this month. They got My ID, whatever that is. I don't remember what that is. But it's supposed to be big for South Korea and for the Icon team. They've got something about 4 new banks or something onboarding, big South Korean banks. So on a macro level, if we went out to the weekly, I mean, this is strong. This is a heavily undervalued project, and I think they're, as far as the dollar USD pair, I think Icon is likely about to revisit a dollar. What is it at now? Okay, so we're at 52 cents here for 53 cents. Yeah, I mean, look at that trend. Look at the bullish support on the 7-day moving average. All price candles are above it. That's a really solid trend. I'd love to see one more dip, one more low time frame dip before they launch this up there to $1. But I don't have any doubt in my mind the icon is heading up there. Look, strong 2-day support, strong 2-day candles. Full send, man, full send. So if you're playing icon on the US dollar pair, I fully feel it's about to go to $1. Bitcoin pair is likely about to test about 8,500 to 9,000 Satoshi range. So if you're swinging this, you still got a lot of room left to run. I'd almost even say they could possibly push it up to about 10,000 Satoshi or something. A lot of room. I mean, that's a beautiful macro chart. You can swing that, and if you're playing with 3x on CoinDCX, I mean, you got 30%, about 25 to 30% roughly to be liquidated. So if this were to fail, you can hold this in a loss even for, you know, even if you hold for a loss in a day or 2 days or something. I mean, you'd have to pretty much go all the way back down to the support to be liquidated. I don't see that happening. Very strong 2-day trend. 3-day trend looks strong too. Look at the MACD solid cross-up bull on the 3-day. I mean, it's just a solid macro level chart. I have no doubt that icon is going to be testing, you know, up in that 8,500 Satoshi range up here in our next resistance confluence, without a doubt. Now, it may take some time to get there, of course. So it's a solid swing trade. So now let's go back down to, let's do 30-minute time frame. I want to see a pullback though. I'd like to see, you know, what OGN did here. So OGN got a nice solid push, and then it rolled over to come back down on a low time frame. So I want to see the same for icon. So if we're looking at some lower time frame, I want to see just a little pullback, just enough. 4300s, since we missed that buy-in. It was a perfect call for that buy-in support, but I missed it, of course, so now I have to look for a low time frame buyback. So I want to see somewhere around 4,300 to buy back in, and I'll probably load, I don't know, 3 or 4 Bitcoin or something for a swing trade and just let it ride. Strong fundamentals going into the rest of this month for icon. I expect big things coming out of them. And again, it's just a really solid, solid chart. Solid chart. Okay, so big play here, guys. Big play for icon. I see nothing whatsoever wrong with icon. So if you're still in it, or if you're looking for that buy, I think it's great. Oops. All right, so let's roll to EOS. EOS is another coin we're watching here. Again, another solid play. I think we may have caught this right down here around the 27 lower, mid to low 2700s. We caught up here to about 3,200 yesterday and said this was kind of rolling over. So solid 15% run, you know, probably 45 to 50% if you had some leverage on it or whatnot. And then we were looking here for the pullback. So it looks like it got front ran just a little bit, not much. We wanted to see 2900s to flip this into support. Okay, so for those of you that are new and are unaware, so you can see all of this price action underneath this orange box. All of this price action that is underneath this orange box is resistance. So this was our resistance breakout point, was that 29.30, 29.50 range or whatnot. So that was our breakout point, and we got that on a strong push and a strong candle. So now what we want, and that's why I had this zone labeled, is we want to see it come back and test as support and flip it for the next leg. So it was a strong push, pull it back to flip that previous resistance as support, and we're golden. And I think we may still get it, or at least retest that wick somewhere. So I'm going to be looking for that wick to be retested, even if it doesn't quite come all the way down. Okay, so this is the 2-hour time frame, and we got a heavy overextended MACD. Look at the gap between the MACD lines here and the histograms. Heavy overextended, definitely in need of a pullback, and you can see the RSI dropping off there. And 3-hour looks to be doing the same. My MACD has disappeared. There it goes. Yeah, so 3-hour looks to be still kind of rolling over a little bit. So we're probably going to see this for a while, and it may take a day or two to get over there and round out. But you can see how overextended that is. That is massively overextended, massively in need of a pullback. You can see the last time it was that high was up here, so we're going to catch any kind of low time frame pullback that we can. I'd love to see that wick retested in the mid 2900s, and I'll load up heavy. Now, weekly time frame. Now, they also announced something for DeFi. So EOS is apparently rolling into DeFi. Very strong weekly candle, and I think we mentioned this earlier in chat too. We're seeing a lot of low time frame bounces today to close these as nice, strong, solid weekly candles, and then get those small pullbacks on the next on the opening of the next weekly candle. So just a small pullback, again, hopefully to test that 2900 range, and then we're going to continue bull. That's a pretty strong EOS candle. Strong MACD push, strong uptrend on RSI. So we'll just plop up a target right underneath the weekly 100-day moving average at about 5,300. Lots of room to run. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so I'm just waiting to see that little pullback. That's all I want. Just a little pullback to get in, grab some, reload it, and then we're off to the races. We're going to start swinging that one. Okay, so Adam. If anybody has any coin requests, if you're new to altcoin live stream, if you have any coin requests, throw them out there in chat, and at the very end, we'll look at them. Okay, so Adam, another play, another solid play. This was the only coin that I did not get stopped out on yesterday's alert to move all stop losses in profit. So I'm still kind of hovering around my entry here. I think I was in kind of right here in the 5100s or so. This was just below this red line was my stop loss. So if it hit, I would have taken a little bit of a loss on that. But this was the only coin that my stops did not hit and trigger. So right now, this is the only altcoin that I'm in. And I'm looking for reload zones on pretty much everything else. Everything else is still pretty well full swing bullish. Okay, so Adam, again, like ICX, pretty strong pushback candle there on the 2-day. Want to see that close a little bit more. Somebody loaded that big, that caused that spike right there. I mean, that's a pretty good spike. That's almost a 10% spike on a single hourly candle on a $1.5 billion market cap coin. So somebody was loading pretty big up there. Okay, I don't see any reason at all why we can't test, 78, 7,900 Satoshi here. Still strong bullish uptrend. Pull it up and then flip it, and then we get our next leg there. So we're gonna first test of resistance at 62. I think since we're already kind of close to testing that resistance, we'll kind of blow right through it. And we'll just go straight to about 78, 7,900, and then pull it back to flip that previous resistance as support, and then we're off to the races there. Dang, Naruto, you just want me to chart the whole market? I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins there. OMG. Okay, yeah, OMG. I've seen that floating around in chat. Looks like OMG was moving pretty good. So no change to Atom. Atom still looks solid. I don't see anything wrong with Atom. Okay, 50% potential there. I'll take it. I think that'll bring me, I don't know, about two Bitcoin profit. I'll be happy. I'll take it. Okay, so I think that's pretty well all. Waves is just a monster. I'm still so salty about this. Look at this. I know some of you guys remember that. I was calling for that low, that 1780 for the buy-in, and it wicked it absolutely perfectly dead on, and then turns and goes 100%. I was asleep when this happened. I was not expecting that to happen so fast. But it did, is what it is. Missed play, lot of missed opportunity there. But we shouldn't rule that out. Mega strong weekly candle. That is not going to be a continuation candle. Okay, so look at the candle here. Broke above that 100-day moving average. Any kind of pullback, starting early next week, we should flip that as support. So we should retest about 2,700 or so as support. But I'm pretty sure that is the bottom for waves, and we'll never see below 2,500 Satoshi again. Okay, so if you want to spot buy waves and you're not worried about any kind of dip, you got a heavy confluence zone up there at around 8,000. I don't see any reason in the world why it won't or can't hit there on this strong break, strong candle. And we got, what, 3 hours left into the weekly candle, so I don't see this dumping back below that within the next 3 hours. Very strong trend. That is a beast. Look at that. Oh my Lord, that is a beast. A lot of potential left, a lot of gas left in the tank for waves. Again, small pullback, but that's going to be about it. We don't want to miss the rest of this ride. I mean, they've got Microsoft, they've got their new 2.0 node thing out, or whatever it was that we shared in the news channel. Lot of bullishness for waves. Solid project, and I just don't see this coming down much. So see, there's that 2,600 right there, and you can see right off of that weekly 100-day moving average, right where we drew this line, it already made that support. So it built that support off of that moving average, and then bounced. So if there is a slight chance that we get another pullback, and for whatever reason this rolls going into next week, that is going to be a retest of our support for our buy. So let's see if we get a resistance coming up on a low time frame here. Where's our candle? Okay, so there's our candle. Dang, there's so much damn room. Okay, so if this continues, this should top out probably maybe 4,000, 4,300 in the next confluence zone right there. So you got some candle pockets meeting those wicks, and then you got some other wicks over here. If it reaches that high, I'm not even sure if 2,700 will be the place to get a rebuy. That's 36% drop. That's monster. But it is crypto. It would take a big Bitcoin move to dump it back. All right, so let's... Caden, I think Caden's the only one that's watching Raiden Network here, RDN. This is a solid trend right here. I mean, this is going to go parabolic. You can see the downtrend accumulation, and then started the uptrend, and then just kind of bounced its way up, and it looks like it's about to test and break. So this is the major resistance that holding the structure down from pushing back up here. And it looks like it's testing it there. You can see that's a very, very strong pushback candle. Retesting that resistance pocket right here, that confluence. And then once it gets above that, once it closes above 4,600, you got a pocket there, but they're going to push it to the top there. So that's going to go to 9,300 Satoshi. A lot of room left. So this is what I'm looking at across the board for altcoins. So let's just look at RDN here, for example. 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe another month, kind of linger and push up to higher targets, and then kind of get ready to roll over and consolidate, or distribute rather. And then the election, and then we get some pretty big pullbacks on coins. So, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, yeah, 700-800% runs across the board on altcoins, and then pull them all back at least, 50% or so. So, Caden, I know you're the only one that's in this, I believe, but that is a really strong macro chart. I think even the weekly looked insanely bullish. Yeah, the weekly looks great. I mean, this looks like they're just gonna send it. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks. If it's a slow grind up, 5 weeks to reach that target. Yeah, it's gonna moon, buddy. That's a really nice chart. That's a really strong looking coin right there. Okay, so let's hop into some of these requests. Neo's gotten some spike. Neo's gotten some hype. Neo looks ready. Okay, so we got look at all the price action candles there above our 7-day. Trend looks strong. I don't know why this isn't just flat out mooning. I think even someone alluded to Tron seeing some bullish uptrend. So it may be time for Chinese coin. Okay, so there's the resistance that's holding the macro level struggle down, or not macro struggle, the macro level resistance down. So Neo's got room up to 1630, and then pull it back to flip to support, and then probably likely on a weekly time frame, bigger picture. But we are trending quite bull for Neo. So if Neo pumps, I got burned hard on gas, but if Neo pumps, gas will probably pump too. So we'll have to definitely keep our eyes on that one. Yeah, so this whole range right here, guys, anything between 1,300, 1,300, and let's just say 1,200. Between 1,200 and 1,300 Satoshi is a buy. So if you're worried about, especially for those of you guys that are playing leverage, I wouldn't panic, because if we're looking at macro high time frames, these are all about to trend bull. So if you're holding Neo, let's say at a 3x, and let's just say it dips down here to test that 1,200 right there off that wick for whatever reason, yeah, that's only a 7% drop, and you're going to be in a 21% loss. But that's going to snap back, in the next day or two after, if it dips. Just for example, I've been doing this quite a bit. I've been holding in losses for a few days on some scalp rebuys, and then the next day or two, it snaps back. I think Algo. Damn, we forgot all about Algo already. Okay, so algo, for example. Let's see, I think down here in this cluster here. So I loaded down here and I had a scalp bag, and I sold the scalp bag up here and then went ahead and kind of reloaded on a small dip, but it dipped a little bit more. And at one point I was holding like $3,000 worth of losses on this dip, but I didn't panic and sell because my macro level trend was still bull. So I knew it was going to snap back and turn bullish. So that $3,000 loss probably turned around and netted me like $3,000 in profit. So the buyback wasn't the greatest, but I didn't care because I was looking at the higher picture trend. So somewhere around here, I was holding in a pretty good loss from some dips or something. And then the trend, just held it out, sucked it up for, a day or two, and the trend continued bullish as I knew it would, because look at the price candles above the 7-day moving average. So if you're scalping on lower time frames within a bigger macro level time frame bullish trend, don't panic on dips. Okay, if you get a bad re-entry on a dip, don't panic. Because they're all still very extremely bullish. What are we looking at here? Atom? No, we went over here to Neo. So I'm just using that as an example. If you went ahead and reloaded Neo, yeah, you're kind of in a little bit of a resistance right here. But look at the trend. The trend is bull. Look at the MACD hugging the histograms. It's ready. Neo looks ready. So even if you bought and it dips on a low time frame, let's just say you bought here and it dips to the bottom of this zone here for about 4%. Yeah, you're going to hold for about 12% loss because you're in leverage, but don't panic because your liquidation is going to be, all the way down there. It would have to go all the way back down to the bottom to retest that wick to liquidate you, which doesn't look likely because the macro levels are in such a bullish trend. Okay, so that's one strategy you can use, and that's one strategy I've been using on playing with scalp bags inside of a macro level bullish trend. So it doesn't matter where I rebought, because I know it would have to go back to the bottom to liquidate my position. And if I hold in a loss for a day or two, I'm fine. I'm not worried. I'm not going to panic because I know that the trend is still bullish. And, within 2 or 3 days, it turns back into profit. Okay, so Neo looks good. What else we got up here for some requests? OMG. Holy shit, where did that come from? Wow. Wow, the more we zoom out, the more that this thing has got a lot of room to go. There's your target for OMG, about 4,700. Little pocket there. So you might see a little bit of a pullback. I'd like to see a pullback there. This has got some nice potential. Did they release some news or something? Was something out on OMG that caused this nice spike? Holy crap. Why do I bother sleeping? 50% today alone. Okay. I don't know what to say. That's just a really beautiful bullish chart there. You've been holding this for too long at a loss. What was your original entry that you bought this? Beautiful bull flag. Okay, so like I mentioned on EOS. So EOS has a strong bull push, strong pop, strong trend or whatever, and then it snaked its way down to retest and flip the resistance zone as support. And then that's what we see for OMG, and that was just an absolute beautiful flip, and that thing is still pushing. $9? Is it even up that high? You got to be kidding me. You bought OMG at $9? Well, even on the US dollar pair, it's about to enter price discovery. When was this ever $9 though? All-time high was 22. Okay. Holy crap. Yeah, you've been holding that for a while. All right, so let's look on a weekly. So this is a solid chart for daily. We are hitting just a slight bit of a resistance pocket there. So if it holds a rejection under this box under 2,800, then I mean, yeah, we can expect a little solid pullback there. Excuse me, to test the bottom of that zone. So if this pulls back, about 2150 would be your pullback buy zone for anybody that wants to get a crack at that. But otherwise, I would honestly just swing that because that is a strong candle, strong push. And then let's go look at our weekly. Good God. Very strong. So that target is still valid around that 5,000 mark or whatever that was that we had. Yeah, somewhere in that 48, 5,000 Satoshi range. Very strong chart. That is going to continue. It doesn't matter. Again, even if you bought now, let's just say, even if you bought now, I mean, it would have to pretty well take half of that candle away to liquidate you, which I don't advise doing. I would certainly wait for any kind of pullback on the next weekly candle in the next 3 hours, and you can snag that. So if we're looking on a 15-minute time frame, let's just say, yeah, a little overextended there. So we would want to see a flip right around that 2150, 2180 mark that we noted a little bit ago. So that really all just depends on where this push rejects. But if you're in, I think a couple of you are. This is your next weekly target up here at 4750. Pull back to about 3,000 on a weekly, and then I don't know, maybe rocket that bitch up some more. Yeah, a lot of people have asked about CHZ, so we'll check that out. But for those of you guys that got in OMG early, bravo, man, congrats. That is a solid pump. That is gorgeous. God, these alts look good. I might as well just quit my job and just trade full time. It's like screw Corona. Good solid pushback on that daily candle for Chillas. This is about to enter bullish price discovery. Okay, so you got a wick and a wick, and we're testing that. Good strong trend. Here's a low, higher low, higher low. Nothing showing weakness on the MACD either by any means. You can see how close that the MACD, the blue MACD line, is hugging that histogram. A lot of room left to run. So you're really not going to see a pullback. So here's another example right here. Look at the MACD line hugging the histogram there. So that's not going to pull back. Right there. There's got to be some gap. There's got to be some space between the histograms and the MACD lines before it can roll over and be considered a pullback or something bearish. So when you see a MACD line like here and then like here and here hugging the histograms, you still got a lot of room. I mean, clearly a lot of room to run there. Now where this can go into price discovery, this is what I hate about coins that enter price discovery, because I mean, you really can't hardly half the time pinpoint where it's going to go. I mean, you can throw a fib and say, 2,250 Satoshi would be next target, somewhere up there. I mean, it really depends on what they got going on fundamentally. But this is going to break, and that's going to enter price discovery. ICX continuing. Is it really? Shit. Hold on, ICX. You son of a bitch. Okay, hold on. I need to damn it, ICX. I want to pull back. That is really hard not to FOMO that, but that's in a resistance. Okay, so let's check order books for Icon. When did you guys change this? Okay, whatever, it's black. Okay, so that is where I want to. That is no, yeah. There's no way that's going to pull back 330. Okay, so obviously a lot more sale walls for. Okay, we are ICX. A lot more sale walls than there are bid support for ICX. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Okay, chart's still going. Okay, so let's use this here. So let's go to log in. Let's use Apex E3 and let's look up ICX spot. Yeah, we could just do spot ICX. So let's look at Liquidity Swarm. Okay, so our Liquidity Swarm chart here for, looks like Huobi Pro's got some pretty big sell walls somewhere sitting up there. Bittrex has some sales, so maybe they'll push this back down so I can get a better rebuy. Depth chart, yeah, the depth chart's just going to show the same thing. Okay, so it looks like there's a little bit more sales for ICX than there are bids, especially that big giant sale wall there on Huobi Pro, so maybe they'll push that back down. So that's one way that we can use that strategy. I'm not sure if I really want to risk that because that is a really strong daily pushback handle. So I'm just going to join you guys on that. I mean, because again, I mean, they have to go all the way down here to liquidate me. So I don't give a shit. So let me just go in here on my mobile. And I'm just going to go ahead and put in a buy. So let's do about 1.5 Bitcoin worth. And we'll just long it. Okay, and then we'll do another, let's do another 30,000 coins for 1.4. So that puts us probably like 3.1 Bitcoin position. Oops, sorry, there you go. Thank you. All right. Okay, so I'm back in Icon now. I missed this buy zone earlier that we had called for. But I mean, it is what it is. That would have been the perfect rebuy support. So I missed the first 11%. That's all right. I'm not going to cry about that because again, look at our solid macro trend there. We're about to break this previous. So this is about to pull an OMG pretty much, guys. This is about to pull an OMG. So let's compare that there. This is almost an identical structure too. I don't want to look at silver. So this is a 2-day. So let's go to 2-day also. So let me just clear that, clear that. So look how identical that is almost. Okay, so we had a strong push on OMG, strong push on Icon, consolidate, 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 and then same thing there, and then that strong push that's going to break that resistance for OMG there, and Icon is about to test and break it there also, which will send this up to our next target. On a swing trade up to, you know, that 9,000 Satoshi mark that we were talking about. So again, yeah, I missed my buy zone that we had called. It's, you know, in the calls channel at like 4,000 Satoshi or whatever, and 4,100. Perfect call, absolutely perfect. Do we still have that? Let me see if I can find my own channels. Okay, so ICX. So here was the call. This was our buy zone, and we got that wick, and then it retested that wick right at 41.87. So the rebuy was spot on. Okay, so let me get rid of this. So I missed it this morning. Okay, no big deal. Here we are. Oops, nope, there we are up here. And then there's our wick, and then our retest of that wick right at the top of our rebuy zone at 41.30. So the rebuy call was spot on, right in our green box zone. I think I was out mowing this morning or something, so I missed the rebuy. No big deal. I'm okay holding in a little bit of a loss, even if it comes back down and retests that support. I can always sell for a little loss and rebuy. Let's just say, for example, it does come back down. I can sell for a little loss up here, rebuy back down here, and then write it back up. No big deal, no sweat off my back or whatever. Or I can just swing it because, I mean, that looks like it's about to break that resistance zone. So no harm, no foul. Because again, if I rebought, it'd have to come all the way back down to the bottom of that support to liquidate me and take my position out. So another strategy that I can do is if this does dip down here, I can add to my margin and lower my margin to increase my liquidation from here, and I can maybe bring it back down. You know, I can lower it to down here or something. So that's another strategy that I can do, or I can add more money and put another buy right here. So as this bounces back up, I'm in profit on the rebuy, still in a loss on that first bag, so it kind of evens itself out. A lot of different strategies you can do that way, though. But that is a really, really strong macro chart, so I'm not even going to worry about that. Okay, so OMG looks good. Icon looks good. CHZ looks good. Strong trends. Again, I mean, we're about to enter price discovery, so it's kind of hard to really put a target on coins that go into price discovery like Tomo did. See, Tomo broke the highs up here. I mean, how can you put a target on that? I mean, what are you going to do? Draw a trend line from there to there or something, for example? I have a hard time with coins that are in price discovery. I just tend to let them ride. Okay, so what is track? Origin trail. Oh, is this OXT? OXT coin? Oh no, that's Orchid. Okay. Damn. Yo, if you're in this, I'd be taking profit. I mean, come on. That's 2,200% run. I'd lock that in. Yeah, so there's no rolling yet of the daily 7-day moving average. Where are my indicators? There they are. But look at the MACD there. You are kind of reaching a little bit overextended. You are hitting a resistance pocket right there. You got some tops right there, the wicks. So it might get one last little push up to about 23.30 or so. So it might push up to the top of that confluence zone up there to the top of those wicks. Might even go as far to say it could continue to push to retest the bottom of those two wicks. I wouldn't bank on that though. I mean, that's a 2,000% run. So let's look at 6 hours. Okay, so 6 hour chart. So, okay, so here's another signal that you can tell when a coin is about to start losing strength. Okay, so we got a nice strong trend. Now you see these rejection candles there, these gray, they're gray, not red for me. So you got two back-to-back rejection candles, and then you got another one forming as well. When you have that many rejection candles forming back-to-back, you can almost expect to start rolling out and tapering off before coming back down. Let me see if you can find more examples. Well, no, that's all. Okay, so again, rejection candles, and then tapered off and rolled. Rejection candle, and it eventually rolled. That may not be a good example. That's a good example there because you got two structures right there of rejections. Here's a rejection structure, and you're forming your third right there. So that could very well roll. And then you can confirm that bias again by dropping down to lower time frames. So again, now our MACD is overextended. The gap between the histograms and the MACD lines. Wick rejection right there, but the 7-day moving average didn't roll over. So you're still in that pocket. You still may get one last wick up on a high time frame to that 2200 range. But I would really actually be kind of looking at an exit strategy. So, I mean, come on, that went 2,000%. Did you guys dump ICX on me? Nope, still good? Gucci gang. Oh, I'm ready for that candle. God, that looks amazing. I'm ready for that to bust out. Okay, what other Caden you want? NKN? I think NKN is about to also enter price discovery too. Okay, well, I don't remember when I did this, but that is absolutely spot on. So let's just clear that out. Let's see. Resistance pocket. Look at the MACD, little trying to get a little weak. But 2 days says no. Still strong macro level. So obviously, look at our 7-day. Don't see anything below 260. I don't see any danger of dropping below that. A little bit of a loss there. MACD is hugging the histograms. Testing that resistance again. I mean, it looks like it could break. ICX breaking out again. Okay, well, I hope I put at least three Bitcoin in there. Let me check my ICX bags again. Okay, so that's 1.44 and that's 1.3. So about 2.8. All right, whatever, close enough. Not gonna cry over it. Yeah, Caden. I mean, NKN doesn't look bad. I mean, it could still roll parabolic here. It is in a lower time frame pullback pattern, but if it breaks, this 330 mark, I mean, it's gone. Not enough chart history to give a solid answer on that one. OMG dump yet? I'm still waiting on EOS to dump. That's going to be a good solid play. I just keep looking back at this candle. That is beautiful. I'm excited for Icon. That is a really beautiful looking chart. OGN, yeah, you're still good. You're still good. Algo, you're okay. Where's Adam? What's Adam doing? Adam, I need you to get your shit together and let's roll. SSXP. Thank you. I knew I was forgetting one. Nope, we got to go to Qcoin. Let's drop down. Looks to be still correcting. Yep, our 12-hour crossed under bear right there. And we only got two histograms there. Bearish divergence. Slight bearish divergence in the RSI. Hey, first live stream, welcome. Damelins, yes, XRP, we'll look at XRP. I think it actually looks stronger against the Ethereum pair than it does the dollar pair. Yeah, I'd say maybe on SXP it might catch another little pop and then come back and revisit somewhere down here. I think this one is cooked for a while. I mean, that's a solid run. That's a 10x run. By the way, guess who sold way too early on this? Yep, see that red line right down there? That's where I sold when it was listed on Binance because I got shook out on a 15-minute time frame thinking it was going to pull back. So I quite literally sold this down here at the bottom and missed the rest of this 6x run that it went on. I don't know why I did that. God almighty, I don't know why I did that. Yeah, so 10 plus years experience trading, guys, and I still make mistakes too. I missed a lot of plays and all that good stuff. VRA, if anybody's watching VRA also, this is one of my buy and forget bags. Looking at that 2-day cross right there. Nice 2-day candle. Still a new coin. Posted some fundamentals somewhere. So just another coin that I'm watching that I'm in. So you want shit RP against the US dollar pair. Yes. Let me turn those off. Okay, so I posted this. Yeah, VRA definitely long term. I think I got like $4,000 in it. I don't plan on selling. They've already partnered with Binance Chain, so at some point they will be on Binance. They got a lot of good fundamentals up their sleeve as well. I don't plan on selling that for an 8x. It's like, go ahead and just make me $30,000, and we're good. So XRP, and I posted this on my Twitter, and thankfully I didn't get trolled too hard by the XRP army. Macro levels still in a downtrend. Rejection off of a downtrend. Now I did have this to also signal that this structure was making a higher low. This structure was making a similar higher low. So it is respecting so far underneath that rejection. It's holding underneath that macro downtrend line, and that MACD is struggling just a wee bit. So it very well, if it does follow, it would have to kind of snake its way down and make yet another lower high, or another higher low, excuse me, to test around 22, 23 cents or so, and then catch that moonshot. I don't see it yet in this structure. I just don't. I don't see. I mean, it may. I mean, that 7-day looks like it's curling back up right there. So it may pull something like this. It may get that one last little wick up to retest 33 or so into this pocket. So if it retested that, not that one. Let me turn that off. Okay, so I mean, there is that possibility. It could wick up to retest that high around 33 or so and then pull back. But I'm just having a really hard time seeing it. Lower time frames. I mean, I'm on the fence. I'm really on the fence. I mean, I'm struggling to see this. I mean, yeah, somebody will argue. Let me just delete all this just for shits and giggles. Somebody may argue, yeah, it's putting in, you know, a bull flag of some kind or something. Your flagpole and then your flag. Yeah, putting in a bull flag and it's continue, and it may, but I just don't see it yet in the indicators. It looks low key, like it wants to roll over and come back down to the mid to low 20s. Now, XRP against Ethereum pairs, since Ethereum is performing so well. Now this does look good against the ETH pair. So you got a really nice bullish divergence forming. Okay, so price, oops, low, lower low, lower low, low, higher low, higher low. So price against RSI and the MACD is bullish diverging. So I think against the Ethereum pair is probably going to yield you some really nice returns. Look at that falling wedge too. So this, another day or two to consolidate and kind of finish rounding out that corner. Another 2 days or so, 3 days. And I think this got a good shot. And so we got a little resistance pocket there, and then likely come all the way up there. I like it better on Ethereum pair than I do the dollar pair. It to me, from my expertise or my eyes or whatever, it looks too rocky on the US dollar pair, but it looks much more promising forming and shaping up on Ethereum pair. Yeah, to me, I mean, this just looks struggling. But again, it could very well follow this same pattern right here. Could very well follow that same pattern there and then fall. Just to get a wick above to retest the top of that previous high. So it's at 30 cents now. So if I were to invalidate this, I'd say it'd have to fall below 28 cents to invalidate this thing staying up here. If it falls below 28 cents, then I don't see any reason why it just doesn't visit the low 20s, around 22, 23. Okay, I'm bugging on Icon now. Okay, so it's still pumping. We're good. We're good. I'm just kind of bugging because I wanted another pullback to buy that low 4,000s again, but you know, it is what it is. I'll just swing it from here. Algo and all that stuff. Okay, anything else, guys? We've been rolling about an hour and 20 minutes, so if you guys don't have any other requests, then I'll post all of these charts updates. I'll post the live stream recording so you can always go back and revisit and rewatch the coins and updates and whatnot. Get moving, Adam. God, get moving. Come on. Nano will go. Yes, Nano. Okay, Nano. Yeah, I think Nano will too. I know it's a community coin. Yeah, Nano's got a really good setup. Solid accumulation pattern. I mean, this is going back all the way for a year now, a little over a year. Look at the MACD crossing up there. I think Nano is just getting started. Komodo, KMD, is just getting started. So Nano, something like that maybe. still got to get above. Nano's got to get above about 1,200 Satoshi. It's got to break the resistance pocket that's holding the whole structure down. But it's got a lot of potential if it does. I mean, look at the resistance gap. So once it breaks 1,200, what's there? There's nothing there. Look at this huge gap right there. You got a little resistance maybe right there at about 1,500. But if it breaks, you know, 1,200 Satoshi or something, I mean, it's gonna go to 2,200. I mean, there's nothing here. You got one little wick there and a little wick there, but there's no confluence. So there's really nothing to hold it back from pushing all the way even up to 2,500 Satoshi and test the previous broken support up there. That's a pretty big gap. Okay, yeah, that's Nano. I don't know if they've got a lot of development because it's a community coin, so I hadn't been following what's going on with them, but I am kind of worried about this weekly right here because that weekly might cross under. So I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with Nano if it at least tested, I don't know, 1050 to 1080. All right, I guess I gotta bounce, guys. Wifey's saying I gotta fire up the grill and start cooking. Oh, Mana, damn. Yeah, Mana. Let me look at Mana real quick. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. SXP is still, I think, in the long term, pretty undervalued. I think their market cap is still under $100 million. I think SXP still has quite a lot of legs to room to run in the long term. Mana, God, what an incredible play. 180%. My happy ass probably sold down here somewhere, missed the rest of the run, but that's okay because ICX is about to make it up for me. I'm glad I FOMO'd now. So I FOMO'd. I broke one of my rules and I FOMO'd, but it's paying off because I kind of bought up here a little bit maybe, but we're in profit, so we're just going to let that run. So Mana, I think Mana is really just going to kind of range. I don't see Mana going below 700 sats. I don't see Mana going unless Bitcoin does something stupid. I don't see it dipping too far. 650, 700 sats at the most. But on macro levels, I mean, it's a really solid, strong, bullish uptrend still. All right, guys, I gotta go. I'm grilling fish tonight, so I gotta bounce. So I'll be back, a couple hours or something, and we'll put these charts, updates, and all that wonderful stuff out there. So I'm glad you guys watched me at least buy something live, even though I did it from my phone because I didn't have the exchange open, whatnot. Oh, I do have it open. Okay, so yeah, so let's plop this over real quick. Let's just throw that in there. Okay, so there's my current bags. Let me refresh. Okay, so that looks better now. Okay, so one of my Atom bags is in a loss, and the FOMO ICX bags are now in profit already. So, I mean, in the last 20 minutes or so that I bought it, up $200 or so. Still in profit on that one Atom bag, and I'm looking to reload EOS and maybe some OGN once that gets back up there. So solid past few weeks of trading, guys. I mean, incredible profits. Let's look at filled orders because that's showing my So I mean, just transparency, so you guys aren't seeing that I'm cheating on this challenge or anything. This $500 to $100,000 challenge. So again, bad scalp on algo there, but made up for it on some other really solid plays. I got whacked hard here. I don't know what happened on that algo bag. So yeah, took a few bad hits. Not bad hits, but a few hits on some scalp plays. Again, I kind of shook myself out. See, there's Tomo. That one hurt. That was last month. Yeah, last month sucked. But so far, August has been an absolute monster tear. Great profits. This past week has been really good. So just some transparency there, guys, that I'm not cheating on this $500 to $100,000 challenge thing that we got going on, or whatever it is. So I plan to reach that goal by the end of the year, maybe. So yeah, we're halfway there. Let's see. So overall current balance between DCX and VRA and what little bit I got over on Bybit and Bing Bong. $500 into $42,000 in 3.5 months. So we're halfway to our goal. $100,000 is the goal by the end of the year. And I'm hoping you guys are all following along pretty close in the copy trade. And yeah, hope you guys are making money alongside with me. All right, so I gotta go. I gotta go start cooking. Yo-Yo looks nice too. Jesus. I think Ancient was in Yo-Yo, or mentioned Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo looks awesome too, guys. 300 sat target minimum. Really solid setup right there. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'm out.